Tell me about your sign here.
This is I plead the 10th for the 10th Amendment to the Constitution, the U.S. Constitution, and it's about honoring the states' rights that exist, that the federal government has been abusing for years, for decades.
Okay. And how does that work, exactly?
How does what work?
Well, how do you plead the 10th?
Well, people say I plead the 5th.
Right.
They're talking about the 5th Amendment, and so I decided I was going to plead the 10th. And to make my point that the federal government is abusing its power, it only has certain powers that are delegated to it, and it is going way over bounds. There's nothing in the Constitution that allows the government, the U.S. government, to do health care. Even Medicare and Medicaid are technically unconstitutional. They've been in place, but this new health care is extremely unconstitutional. Not to mention the Department of Education, Department of Transportation. There's a lot of money being spent on things that shouldn't be done at the state level. And so the state level gives you local control, gives you more of a local application of services, and it's easy to change. You can't change federal law that easy. Once the federal government does something, it's really hard to get rid of. So I think local control is really the big issue. And that's the way it was intended by the founding fathers.
What brings you folks out here today?
Taxes, government. Who deserves your paycheck? I believe you do. I don't believe your money should be redistributed to somebody that chooses not to work, maybe eat themselves to overweight, smoke themselves to death, drink themselves to an illness, whatever else caused their problem. Once you take money from producing people and give it to people who don't produce, it's only a matter of time before the entire system collapses. Is it fair that someone's born sick, that someone needs more than somebody else? Of course it isn't. Is it fair to take your paycheck and give it to someone else? If that solved the problem, I'm all for it. But if it makes the problem worse, which is what entitlement programs do by the government, I love charity. I think if people were allowed to keep their paychecks and they saw someone in need, they would help them. It's the American way, and it always works forever. Never can run a deficit. People can only share what they have. But Roman houses don't exist. People don't take in elderly people anymore. The government has taken full control over everyone's needs, and they're in charge of the charity. My money's taken from me at gunpoint and distributed to somebody that doesn't want to work, can't work, won't work, but someone's needs that the government decides are greater than my own. Is that fair? No. Will it work? No. Will it run huge deficits? Yes. Will it create an ungrateful entitlement program? People don't even know where the money's coming from. It's always the government's money. The government has part of my paycheck, and it has parts of other people's paychecks that are much bigger than mine.
Every one of you for coming out here today, because it's people just like you that gathered together in downtown Waco last summer to protest cap and trade. Now, I didn't have a clue about the country I lived in, and I'm sorry to say that. But when I walked up to the Waco Tea Party watchdogs, they didn't turn me away because I'm of Mexican descent. They didn't turn me away because I live in one of the lowest income communities in Waco. And they didn't turn me away because I had my facts wrong. They welcomed me in. And since that time, and with their encouragement, I've read the Declaration of Independence. I've read the Constitution of the United States of America. I've read many of the founding era documents, letters back and forth from Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, and these amazing people that talk to each other in a way that I'd never seen before. Now we have mainstream, lamestream that's trying to marginalize this Tea Party movement, this patriotic American movement. So I have a simple message to the mainstream and anyone else who wants to marginalize the Tea Party movement. Marginalize this. They call us extreme. You didn't expect that, did you? They call us an angry mob. It's a rapper. His pants are around his waist. I don't think they truly understand who we really are. Just a little bit different. Let me help you understand. What's a Tea Party? Fiscally responsible, that's a Tea Party. Promotes free market, yes, that's a Tea Party. Limited government's the only solution. Our only foundation should be our Constitution. Fiscally responsible, that's a Tea Party. Promotes free market, yes, that's a Tea Party. Limited government's the only solution. Our only foundation should be our Constitution. There's a Tea Party movement we're not in Boston. Not a race thing, though you hear that often. Lies, don't believe the liberal spin. Let us break it down, tell you where it all begins. See, in 1776, a declaration written by the founders, it formed a new nation. But wait, some didn't like the cause. Through the years they've been working to destroy us all. There it was, 2009, dangerous times. Socialist agendas they wanted to sign, so the people combined, said let's have a tea party. Your neighbors and your friends, a mob? Hardly. What happened is a sleeping giant chose to wake up. Have you ever heard 2 million people shouting enough? The walls of the Congress and Senate are shaking. This is the result when you awake a free nation. Fiscally responsible, that's a Tea Party. Promotes free market, yes, that's a Tea Party. Limited government's the only solution. Our only foundation should be our Constitution. Fiscally responsible, that's a Tea Party. Promotes free market, yes, that's a Tea Party. Limited government's the only solution. Our only foundation should be our Constitution. So the WTP chose to hit the streets. That's the Waco Tea Party. They activated me, grassroots. That means from the bottom to the top. Started hitting the communities and pledge to never stop. We point out the waste, don't let us see you lie. We're turning out the votes that your money can't buy. We turned interstates into a campaign revolution. Every mile marker has seen the Constitution. Tea Party's here, there's Tea Parties there. The Tea Party movement got them running scared. They know that their lies cannot penetrate the truth. It's 2010, we gon' prove it at the booth. We don't care if you're a D, we don't care if you're an R. If your votes don't stand for the stripes and the stars, let liberty prevail. To this I dedicate my life. I'm standing up for freedom for my babies and my wife. Fiscally responsible, that's a Tea Party. Promotes free market, yes, that's a Tea Party. Limited government's the only solution. Our only foundation should be our Constitution. Fiscally responsible, that's a Tea Party. Promotes free market, yes, that's a Tea Party. Limited government's the only solution. Our only foundation should be our Constitution. Politicians and their lies, Washington is blemished. Career politicians, careers will be finished. Voting for our freedoms in 2010. Trust me, we're booting out Repubs and the Dems. Now they telling us to flex the Tea Party muscle. We're coming together like cards when you shuffle. Actually forming 5013Cs. Every state in the union is drinking the tea. Overconfident, they really thought they already won. Now we're bringing out the workers and we're reaching the young. So what's a Tea Party? Well, that's a good question. I wrote this song so they all can quit guessing. We are the people, American blood. We won't let a name be drugged through the mud. We fly the flag high, let not the movement die. We won't grow weary and we won't be shy. Fiscally responsible, that's a Tea Party. Promotes free market, yes, that's a Tea Party. Limited government's the only solution. Our only foundation should be our Constitution. Fiscally responsible, that's a Tea Party. Promotes free market, yes, that's a Tea Party. Limited government's the only solution. Our only foundation should be our Constitution.